Backyard science can debunk this. They say that the molten iron core of Earth is, for one, hotter than the surface of the sun, but for two, magnetic, although magnets lose their magnetism at 80 degrees Celsius. So of course they'll say, no, it's generated by the motion of the molten iron in Earth's core, claiming molten iron to be paramagnetic, meaning it interacts with magnets. I found a guy who had so much faith in this that he tried to make a piece of art using this science.
So I've got the 800-pound magnet and I'm putting it right under the thermite. And I'm going to put the board on top of it to protect it. So when the molten iron comes out, it should maybe make cool patterns from the magnetic pole. What I'm trying to do is create a cool metal sculpture that looks like something you'd get while playing with ferrofluid. And if you don't know what ferrofluid is, it's a pretty cool toy. It's basically magnet shavings suspended in an oil. And when you put it next to a magnet, you get really cool shapes like this. So let's see if I can make one with molten iron.
Okay, theoretically, with the information we've been given, this should work.
I like how it goes. I think I was wrong. I think this didn't work at all because most of the iron went onto the grass. So I actually picked up more iron from the grass around the board than on top of the board, so I think the magnet didn't really attract it.
So far, the science of this isn't looking real good, but science is testable, repeatable. Okay, so let's do it again.
So what I've done here is I've stuck the magnet to a piece of metal in the ground so it's parallel to the thermite. So when it goes off, we'll see if the metal stream gets attracted to the magnet or not, and if it doesn't, it'll just fall straight to the ground. We'll see if it bends. All right, here we go. 3, 2, 1. So that thermite turned the wooden bowl into a raging firestorm, but I'm beginning to think that there's no reaction between molten metal and magnets. In fact, I think that molten metal and magnets don't mix very well at all. Once magnetic materials reach a certain temperature, they lose their magnetism. That's 600 for this magnet and 1400 degrees Fahrenheit for iron. This is called the Curie point.
Alright, it's not looking good, but we're going to try one more thing, because he really wants to make this ferrofluid-like sculpture with molten iron, so let's try dropping it directly on the magnet.
I think our last test is to do the thermite directly onto the magnet. I don't want to destroy my magnet. Alright guys, now it's the time you've been waiting for. I've got the magnet in the bowl. I've got the thermite above it. Let's see if anything crazy happens. Place your bets down below in the comment section. Tell me what you think's gonna happen. 3, 2, 1. It is pretty hot. I can see lumps of steel right here. This is a huge just lump of iron, but I think it's lost its magnetism. So this is the remains of the magnet after the thermite hit it. It's, it's pretty much shattered. The thermite, heated it up too fast and it cracked. And when magnets get super hot, they lose their magnetism. So this magnet is basically just an ugly, stinky paperweight now. So, at least now we know what happens when molten iron, touches a magnet.
Yeah, we know what's going to happen when molten iron touches a magnet. We've known what's going to happen. Now, just because this is out there, this is what inspired this test. You guys know that, right? And look what happened. It failed. So how many times does the physics and math of this have to fail before we understand they're lying to us? A great mathematician once said, when 2 plus 2 stops equaling 4, take yourself out of the equation.